What if you could turn any topic into engaging LinkedIn content automatically? Here's how I built an AI content machine. Hey everyone, Sean here from Sean Teaches n8n, and today I'm going to show you how to build an AI-powered LinkedIn post generator. This takes any topic, searches it on the web, and creates professional LinkedIn content ready to post. By the end of this video, you'll have a content research and creation system to help you maintain a consistent LinkedIn presence without spending hours writing posts. Let's dive in. Okay, so let's get into building this workflow. So usually, what we actually need for this workflow is a schedule trigger. So what this does, it just modifies whenever you want the post to be put up on your LinkedIn. So you can choose whatever time during the day, noon, and you can modify it here. If you want it at quarter past, just type in 15 and so on. But for us, we're just going to be using a manual trigger. So off this manual trigger for testing, we want to add Google Sheets. And then we're going to select Get Rows in Sheets. And once we're here, we're going to have to create a new credential again. So we want to create a new OAuth too. So that's when we come back over to our Google Sheets. And up at the top, you can search for your sheets here. And it's going to come up Google Sheets API. You click that, and down here, you're going to see Enable. So you want to enable that, come back to LinkedIn and sign in with Google. Or come back to n8n and sign in with Google. And once you have connected all of that, we want to choose which document we want to pull the information from, or the data from, should I say. So I'm just going to go into the one I'm using for now, and we're going to click LinkedIn Posts, and we're only going to have one sheet in there. So let's look at our Google Sheet here, just so you know what's going on. So we have a topic, status, and content. And what we want to do is we want to get one row where the status equals to do, generate that content and upload it back into here. And after that, we want to change this to do to created so it doesn't pull that row back in again. So to get those rows pulled in here into our n8n, we need to add a filter. And we need to select the column we want to pull in, and we're going to choose status. And the value needs to equal what it says on the sheets, so to do. And once we execute that step, it's going to pull us in all that data that we have, all of our rows. But we don't want all this. We only want the top one for now. So to do this, you come down here, add an option, and select Return Only First Matching Row. Here we want to check on this box, and we execute again. And here we're going to see it's only the first row that we've got back. And that's exactly what we want. Okay, so now that we've pulled in our content we want to create a post about from our Google Sheets, we need to add a HTTP request node. And what this is doing is we're making a request to a specific API. And if you're not sure about what HTTP requests are or how to use them, I've created a full video on my n8n fundamental series explaining in full what they are. So go check it out after you watch this video. So now that you've signed up to Tavily, you're going to see here that we're on the researcher plan. So you get free 1,000 credits. So basically 1,000 searches per month. So what we have to do is come down here to API keys. And we have to create a new API key, give it a name. I'm going to say demo. And we create that key. And we're going to copy it. And we're going to come back to that later. So the next step is we have to go to documentation. And here you're going to see Build with Tavily in the home screen. So if you just come over here to API and SDKs, we're going to come down here to post search. So again, this is diving deep into the HTTP requests. I won't go into it in this video, but again, check out my recent video explaining HTTP requests. But for now, we're going to just look up here on the top right for a curl command. And we're just going to copy this curl command. And we're going to come back in here to our n8n. And on the top right of our HTTP request node, it's going to give you an option for import curl. And here all we have to do is just paste it in, import, and here you can see that the node has just automatically filled itself in, which is fantastic. So now we can just break down this node. So for every HTTP request, you're going to need a method. So for this case, we're using post. So basically, we're sending over data. We're sending body data you see here over to Tavily. That searches the web and brings us the results back. So that's basically a post request. So next, we're going to have some sort of base URL. So we're going to be hitting a base URL and an endpoint. Our base URL is api.tavily.com and our endpoint is /search. So if we come back over to our documentation here, we can see it's post/search. But if we were doing an extract, we would see post/extract. So there you can just see the difference between the different types of endpoints. Okay, so there's still a few more things that we need to configure before we move on. So the next one is we need to set up authorization. This curl command has already done it for us, but we're going to be doing it through send headers. So we're going to come down here and we're going to get rid of token, and we're going to come back into Tavily where we created our API key. So we just need to copy that and paste it back in where we just deleted token. So before we move on, we need to configure our request before sending it off. So here we see the parameters within our body request. Now I won't dive too deep into this, but if you want to understand it more, you can come back into Tavily and you can search or you can read the various different headings that it has. But for us, we just want to focus on the query because that's what we're searching. But you can look into loads more stuff like extract depth, images, format, timeout, usage, and loads of other stuff. So here I'm just going to leave everything as default inside our body requests. So we're going to get a general topic, one result, and basic search depth. So over here I've executed the step. So it gave us back a URL that you can actually visit. And it's just going to bring us into Messi's Wikipedia. And it's going to give us content results. So next we can come back over here to our JSON body and we can switch it to expression and we can just open it up. And here we see that who is Leo Messi is hard-coded into the search query. So what we can do is add a variable. So we can get rid of this. And all we have to do is come over here to our topic and drag it in. And we can also hard-code it to say search. Search the web for the topic. And we can also come down here, instead of saying get one result, we can switch it to 3 results. And once we hit execute step here, it's going to come back and we've gotten back 3 different URLs. Okay, so now that the web search is complete, it's going to search the web for our defined topic. Now all we need to do is write the content. So next we need to add an AI agent. So once we're in this agent, it's going to say connected chat trigger node, but we're not using that because there's no chat trigger node to be seen. So we're going to switch that to define below. And here in the prompt, we can open it up in expression. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to write article 1, colon dot space, and then we're going to drag in the content that we see over here on the left side. So we're going to add that there. Now we're going to write article 2, colon dot space, and we're going to go to the second content result. And we're going to do the same again last time. Article 3. As you can see, I'm not the best at typing. At article 3. And we're going to do the content from our third article. We're going to just drag it in here. And now you can see on the right, it has all the content there for us. So now that we have that in, what we need to do next is we need to add a system message. Now here we can just open it up in expression to make it larger. I've just created a prompt on Claude, and here's what it's given me back. It's not perfect, but you can really dial it in to what you need specifically. But basically we've told it a tone of voice, a task, we've explained its role, the structure requirements, formatting standards, content strategy, what to avoid, and to use hashtags as well. Use hashtags here and use emojis. But once that's done, all we need to do now is connect it to a chat model, and we're going to be using OpenRouter. We're going to come in here, connect our account, and here we can use Claude as I'm using it for the prompt, 3.5 Sonnet, or we can search here 3.5 Sonnet. And once you've done that, we can just run it quickly here and see what it comes up with. So I'm just going to click in here as it's executing. And here it is. It's come back with a strategy. So you can pause it and read it away here. So if you're not happy with if something is in here and you're not happy with it, you can just edit the system prompt to whatever way you like it. Okay, so the final step is we have to add another sheets node. And instead of get rows and sheet, we're going to update the rows and sheet. So we're going to use the account that we were set up on. And now we're going to choose our document and then choose our sheet. And now here it's telling us to map each column manually. So we're going to select the column topic. And what we have to do here is come down to get rows and sheet and grab our topic and put it in here. So whenever this node sees this topic of remote work tips, it's going to update that row. So then in status, so if we go back to our sheets, we want to change this status from to do to created. So how we do this is we come back and we type in created, exactly how we typed it in the Google Sheets. And for the content is we're going to come back up here to our AI agent and drag it in here. And now you're going to see the results coming up in the box down below. And once we execute this step, we can come back to our sheets and we can watch it create. So here it is, the post, and it's giving us a pro tip. And there you go. That is the content created. And what you can also do is this part of it, you can automate this to create new rows every day on any general topic to create new topics on that. And so basically you can have different content pumping out every day. Okay, so that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Please smash the like button and subscribe if you found this informational. And drop a comment and tell me which workflow you want me to build next. Okay, I'll see you in the next one.